almost half a century before we had memorable memes momentarily come across our screens, I had several posters hanging on my bedroom wall for years. One was Desiderata by Max Ehrmann. It began, "Go placidly amid the noise and haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence." Another I remember is this: "I understand that you understand what you heard me say, but I am not sure you realize that what you think you heard is not what I meant." In my online search, the earliest reference I could find was a similar quote from a decade later. Was God behind an adolescent's poster preparing me for a lifetime of communication? I recall only 2 occasions when I played back a recording of a sermon because I was accused of saying something I never would. On the other hand, there were many times someone would thank me for saying something they really needed to hear, which wasn't in the sermon I spoke. I invited them to thank God's Spirit for taking the words I spoke and transforming them into what they needed to hear, what I pray for before almost every sermon. This Sunday is Pentecost Sunday for the church calendar we share. Pentecost is a Greek word translating the Hebrew word Shavuot, the Feast of Weeks. In the Bible, Acts chapter 2 describes the gift of God's Spirit when Jews from all the nations gathered to celebrate Shavuot, Pentecost, at the temple in Jerusalem. Although they spoke many different languages, God's Spirit allowed them to hear the good news in their own language. Pentecost is celebrated as the birthday of the church. Our church's children and youth receive kits to help celebrate Pentecost at home. You might want to bake a church birthday cake if you're looking for an excuse to eat some. Or you might want to wear red and light a candle, a symbol of the gift of the Spirit, as you worship online with our community. What experiences have you had with "I understand that you understand what you heard me say, but I'm not sure you realize that what you think you heard is not what I meant"? What steps do you take to improve your speaking and your listening with others? In what ways do you hear in your own language the good news of a community practicing their trust in God's good purposes for all creation?